What got you involved with like Cosmic Lion and everything?
Yeah, let me show you what started it off for me.
Yeah.
So I went to Heroes Con for the first time. In fact, it was my first Comic Con ever, but it was because I wanted to meet creators because I was trying to like get portfolio reviews. I actually met Brian Stelfreeze, who reviewed my last portfolio and got a lot of good constructive criticism from him. But I was told to meet Kevin Anthony Catalan, who created
Oh,
Space
nice.
Knights.
Hmm.
And like the Space Knights book got my attention, but when I saw this fold out and like the production quality of like the Space Knights zine, I knew I really wanted to be a part of Cosmic Lion's brand. So, and I met Eli, who was super nice. Um, After I finished issue one of Frankie Boy Monster, he hit me up and said, "Hey, I got a slot if you want to take it, man." And I took it, and yeah, it's been a great experience. I don't think I could ask for a better one.
Oh, dude, that's sick. So, I mean, you're like fresh. And it's one of those things. I love talking to like I talk to so many people from different generations, especially on the
Yeah,
show. People of all age range, and you're just like fresh out of high school. You're probably
yeah.
like the second youngest person I've interviewed on the podcast at this
Oh
point.
shoot. Okay.
But like, what like got you so invested at like such a young age to be like? I mean, you're putting out your first book, a
Yeah.
quality book at that.
Oh shucks.
Right
Thanks.
where you are. Yeah, because Frank Boys, I mean, it looks beautiful. It's a fun
Thanks.
story. We'll talk about it when you give it resonated with me
Yeah.
right away when you pitched it. And it was just
Yeah.
like, what got you into like comic books and storytelling? And that really captivated you.
Yeah. For me, it's like, I mean, I can't point to any one thing, but I always loved watching Saturday morning cartoons because like I grew up in the early 2000s, 2010s. So like
Hmm.
Cartoon Network was really big for me. And then
Yeah.
like some like there was like obviously like the Marvel and DC licenses had their own animated cartoons as well from the 90s to even to this day. So I would catch reruns of like the 90s shows, or I would watch Spectacular Spider-Man, which was big for me, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I had the whole back catalog of the DC animated universe stuff at my disposal, and that stuff captivated me because like I could tell that like yes, it was suitable for children, but then there were moments that like felt real and like not dark in the sense of like dark and gritty, but in the sense of like wow, like there's some real stakes. But like my
Mhm.
mom's okay with me watching it because she's enjoying herself too, you know. So like, and I'm trying to make comics with that flavor of like I'm not I'm not making stuff that would be like risky for like a kid to read or
Mhm.
watch, but still I'm not talking down to them because even like C.S. Lewis, who's a big inspiration to me, for many reasons, he even said that if you want to write for children, you don't talk down to them. Like you tell
Yep.
them that hey, evil is evil and good is good, you know, and like
Mhm.
even though the evil can seem like very daunting and insurmountable, there's still like good that's going to triumph over it, you know.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's cool that you're pointing out like a reference like that too. What got your attention first, like writing or drawing? What avenue did you start like really going after?
For me, like I don't know, because like for me they're not too separate. Like I know they are, but they're not to me. Because like it all starts with like an idea, which is just words in your head, and then if you
Mhm.
draw it, like for me, like drawing influences writing and vice versa. So they always come back to each other. So I'll come up with an idea and I'll draw it. Like I drew Frankie my sophomore year of high school. Then I revamped him this past summer, and when I made him a kid, like it kind of clicked for me. And after I drew him, that gave me the inspiration to write the story. And then I wrote the first short story, and then I started drawing like more characters and more monsters in my sketchbook, and then writing the next round of short stories that then compile into issue one. So it like they to me like I don't know, it's hard to like describe like which one starts and which one. It feels like a chicken and egg scenario where
Yeah.
like there's not a clear line at like which one actually starts because like I've always drawn, but I've always came up with ideas, which is just words in your head anyways and images a little
Mhm.
bit, and then they kind of come out at the same time for me. So like to me they're no different from each other in like how it formulates up here and then how they influence each other. But I'm also like a cartoonist, so like I'm a writer artist, so maybe I'm a little
Mhm.
bit biased, but I feel like they shouldn't be treated too different from each other.
I mean, it sounds like you just have the mindset of a storyteller,
Yeah.
You envision it, you feel it, you hear it. It's like however it processes, however you can get it out, it's going to come out that way.
Yeah.
And it's so great that you're dabbling into like and you see it that way because dabbling
Yeah.
into the visionary aspect of it is what helps every writer help make a script, but you're also bringing it to life. So it just sounds like you're a craft person, or you're shaping yourself
It
to be
is.
a
Yeah.
craft person.
It is.
Like
Because like,
what oh no, go on.
oh
You're
no,
good.
it's all good. Because like I said, like there's no like difference to me, and it's just like I don't really think of myself as an illustrator. I feel weird when people try to call me an artist or illustrator. I just like the idea of like I'm making these stories that kind of brings me back to my childhood feelings, and then it
Mhm.
comes out in the work, and then it just so happens like, oh yeah, I did have to draw it for it to be in someone's hands, but also there's some words to aid in the storytelling and some of the beats. Because like to me,
Mhm.
like I know there's some people that are like, show don't tell, or there are people that get lost in the telling too much. I'm trying to find that happy medium of like, yeah, I want to show a little bit, but there's nothing wrong with writing like, good clips, or like telling a little bit if the visuals are well done and it's well paced. Like I really think like people get too stuck in either ditch where they're too visual or they're
Mhm.
too telly. So I'm trying to like ride that nice happy medium, because like all my favorite cartoons have that nice happy medium. Minus like Primal by Jendy Tartakovsky. It's just all visuals, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I'm not him yet, so
Comics with